Hi, neighbor. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, the Republic of Bad Cryptopia, and we're glad you're our neighbors. Sure. It's nice to see the altcoins continue to go up, isn't it? We think so. Another financial powerhouse is getting into the crypto space. Won't that be nice? You know what else would be nice? If you were an Oscar Mayer wiener, because then you might get some bacon coin. There's a new book written just so you children can understand blockchain, and Bad Crypto has been nominated for a major award. We hope it's a leg lamp. Well, welcome to the neighborhood. We've got lots of news for you, and if you're good little boys and girls, we'll have story time. Get your nap mats out and enjoy your milk and cookies as we enjoy episode number 121 of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
Two dudes talking crypto. Two dudes talking crypto. Joel and Travis are just two dudes talking crypto. Oh, yeah.
That's what we are. We're just two dudes talking crypto.
Hanging out here in the neighborhood, here in Bad Cryptopia.
Isn't that special? We're grateful that you guys are here, and we're grateful to our sponsor for the month, Zilla. The ICO app is back, Jack, and they're in the Apple Store. You can find ICOs, check out the team, timeline, token, and tech, and participate in the ICOs directly through the application. It's an early build. Wallet and chat are not yet activated, but they will be soon. Also, Android on the way. Download the Zilla app on the App Store. Do it today. Zilla. Hey. Mr. Travis Wright, some really interesting things have happened for Bad Crypto this week.
That is true, and some uninteresting things.
Well, we're not going to talk about the uninteresting things.
Oh, we're not talking about those? Okay.
Because they're not interesting. But what is interesting is thanks to the support of you, the citizens of the Republic of Bad Cryptopia, we, I believe, have taken the top crypto spot in the iTunes App Store, or iTunes Podcast store, shop, place, the thing where they list, podcasts.
The place with the things.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so on the Apple places, we are. Yeah, it looks like right now we are, number 35 overall in business podcasts. It looks like we're number 9? Number 9 or so in investing. And sometimes it depends. Like we pop into the top 200, and then we pop out, then we pop back in. So, we're right on that edge. We're probably, I guess, in the top 250 podcasts of all in the world, in the universe.
Thank you. And this is kind of cool. We learned this week that we have been nominated for a major award. And it's only major because I said it's major. I don't actually know if it's major or not. But it is the Crypto Influencer Awards. And the Bad Crypto Podcast has been nominated for, get this, best dressed. No. Best best podcast.
Best dulcet tones of Joel Comm. It's like, who has better tones in their voice than Joel Comm?
Nobody has better tones than Mr. Joel Comm. Nobody.
Yeah. So actually you can go to cryptoinfluenceaward.com and to find us, you click under categories, platform awards, and then best podcast. If you voted for us, that would be awesome. I guess there's some big deal that's popping up on the 17th of May, some big award ceremony going on up there. And if we win, I think we get to meet the Queen, and we get a free flight to the moon, apparently, from Elon Musk. So very exciting.
So go to the website, take a moment, go to cryptoinfluenceaward.com. You'll see there, scroll down to the best podcast category, and ignore all those other guys. Well, no, don't ignore them. Listen to especially Unchained. I mean, if you're going to vote for somebody, vote for Laura Shin. Don't vote for us. We're bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
But cast your vote. Let's get into the news this week and start by taking a look at the market. It's been a greener week, and green makes everybody happy except the shorts. Doesn't make them happy.
Unless your eggs are green, or your food spoiled, then you don't like it when it's green. But I mean, we've had a pretty substantial climb this past week from where we were when we last did the live show to where we are now, the market cap grew by what, 50 something billion dollars?
Yeah, it was pretty strong, and we're really seeing a lot of strength in the altcoins right now are finally bouncing back. Is, true hodlers, and I don't care if people call them hodlers, true hodlers understand that everything goes in cycles, and it's no surprise to see money beginning to pour back into the altcoins.
And it is actually hodl. Just so we do know, we do intentionally say it wrong because it looks like hodl, but I mean hodl. So don't be mad if somebody calls it hodl versus hodl. Just call it what it's kind of like GIF versus GIF. Technically, it's GIF. I call it GIF because I don't care, right?
Yeah. Don't be mad at us because we pronounce words incorrectly. It's okay.
Yeah, it actually grew $60 billion since we last did the news show, Mr. Joel Comm. When we were sitting there last Thursday, it was 397. Right now, this very minute, it's 457 billion.
There's a chart in the show notes that you'll see about a percentage of total market cap. Bitcoin is sitting at about 36%. Of all market cap, and that's pretty cool. So we've got a lot of links in the show notes this week, and this one that is talking about alt season beginning is the Crypto Fam, who I just followed you, Crypto Fam, because you do cool charts and analysis.
Mm-hmm. And I want to mention this because I saw this on, I think, Reddit, but it was somebody who was doing some Charty McCharterson type stuff. And they said by any point, by any, viewpoint, we have busted through the bear market because we have gone through a few of these trend lines and we've kicked back up. And it looks to me like if we pop up over, if we can get over $510 billion, then we pop. That's that next point of resistance for the market cap is $509 billion. So if we pop up over that, then the next resistance point will be 570, almost 600 and something billion dollars, maybe $630 billion. So those resistance points, we keep busting through those, and we are moving in the right direction, Mr. Joel Comm.
If the trends continue as they have been year over year with all-time highs, then, in my heart, I want to believe that we are getting ready to face the bull run to end all bull runs until the next bull run, and then that will end this bull run. But if the John McAfee decline is going to, continue to hold, then things have to go up.
That's true. Well, he does have this tweet stream. If you look at the show notes on badcryptopodcast.com, or as we do every show, badco.in/121, you can look at the show notes and look at the links. The Crypto Fam, there's literally on every one of these tweets, there's a nice little graph that's telling a story, and he has how many different tweets are on this thing? There's a
lot. It was a tweet storm.
16 tweets in a row, it looks like.
Yeah. So here's some news that centers around the Ethereum markets. And Vitalik Buterin, who we still want on the show, did you know he's 24, Travis?
I did know that. Yeah, actually, I thought he was still 23, but he's 24 now. And he started Ethereum in 2014, I believe, when he was 20. And smart kiddo, that Vitalik guy. He's kind of smart.
There's a technology that's called sharding, sharding, not sharting, like that thing.
That's totally different. Like when you think it's a fart, but it's not. I had one of those not long ago. Like, whoa!
Really?
But that's nothing to do with Ethereum.
Really? We talked about Uranus in the last episode. Do we need to go there again?
Yeah. Well, as you get older.
The point of sharding, this technology, is to help boost the scalability, and we're just learning about this ourselves, as we often do on the show. And the article, if you want to follow along, says that you could think of shards as partitions that allowed you to break down and optimize verification of transactions, and doing that should speed up the network dramatically. And There's some concerns, but looks like Vitalik says that they are introducing sharding into the Ethereum network.
Yeah, so if you've looked at the blocktivity.info, I look at that website periodically to see how many transactions are going through, how full are the blockchains at any given moment. And Ethereum, especially around that CryptoKitties time, it was so full and it was near capacity most all the time. And so what sharding is going to do is it's going to expand the number of crypto transactions that's going to be available to do per second. And so it's really going to help Ethereum scale, because that's one of their biggest problems. I mean, here we have all these companies doing ICOs, launching on Ethereum, and they were having serious bottlenecks. If one little project like CryptoKitties can completely clog up the network, they needed to have a solution that can help that. And Vitalik believes that sharding is the solution to solve that Ethereum scalability problem.
Wow.
So we'll see.
Kitty shards
everywhere.
Man, don't share the brain. Can we have separate brains, please? Because when we say the same thing at the same time, it frightens me just a little. So here's an article from the BitcoinNews.com, not BitcoinNews.com, because I don't even know if that exists. It probably does, because that's why we have a D. And the headline is Binance to invest $15 million in Bermuda as crypto regulations advance, because we all need to wear Bermuda shorts.
Well, I mean, here's some interesting stuff that's happening in the Caribbean, right? So there's a lot of these islands that are doing some cool stuff. Jamaica, they're doing some really cool stuff there with their whole tech beach.
Yeah, man.
And there's a great Kirk Hamilton and those guys that are doing some really awesome stuff there. And Bermuda is becoming a country that is becoming more lax around crypto regulations, and Binance is putting different companies, there are different offices in different cities in different countries around the world. Like they're having their headquarters in Malta there, and the CEO mentioned that whoever wants, whichever country that is crypto friendly that wants to have Binance come, they will. They said whichever country wants to get lots of tax revenue, let us know, and we'll set up an office in your country. And dude, did you hear that Binance in Q1 made over $200 million in profit?
Good grief, that's incredible.
More than Twitter, way more than Twitter. And that we're just in the beginning stages of this. So Binance is really rocking and rolling. And speaking of the Caribbean, we are actually in the next couple of days going to the Cayman Islands, right, Mr. Jokan?
Yeah, man, or came on, as you like to believe they say.
Well, it's the Cayman Islands and it's Grand Cayman. That's what the folks there say, but It's all hearsay. And we are going there, and my co-author of Digital Sense, Chris Snook, who has been on the show before, we had a conversation back in October around, let's create the UN of crypto. Let's have the top legislators and regulators and the heads of these crypto companies and thought leaders in the space. Let's do an invite-only event, and let's have some conversations around how we can move this industry forward. And Snook, dude, he took the bull by the horns and has been setting up this amazing event that's going on in the Cayman Islands from the 8th through the 10th. And actually, the premier of the Cayman Islands is actually going to be there, along with some other of their top government officials. So It's pretty cool. There's a lot of awesome people that are going to be there. And you know what? What we found, and this was kind of the impetus for us to create this, was that sometimes you don't get invited, to a seat at the table, and so you got to build your own table. And so we have done that.
How did I get invited to the table is what I want to know.
Well, because you're hungry and you like food.
I do. By the way, I just wanted to mention, to put a tag on that Binance story, they're investing $10 million in education for Bermudians and $5 million in Bermuda-based blockchain companies. That's how they're putting that money into it. I just felt like that needed to be said. World Tokenomic Forum.com. Yeah, Chris Snook, I think, he kills it. He did such a great job with the Blockhouse in Austin that they're going to, we're going to start using the vernacular. Like when you crush it, we're going to be like, yeah, you snooked that. That was that event. You totally snooked that event.
Keep on snooking.
Snucking and cooking, baby. From the traditional financial world, here's a name that a lot of people in crypto don't like, and that name is Jamie Dimon. No, that's not. Well, that's true that they don't like that name. But another one they don't like is the financial behemoth known as Goldman Sachs.
Goldman sucks, yeah.
So they're it's time for them to get involved in crypto now, according to this article from the paper that used to be the authority for all news and still publishes some things from time to time, New York Times. Goldman Sachs to open a Bitcoin trading operation. So they're going to use their own money to trade with clients in different contracts that are linked to the price of Bitcoin.
They're not going to actually be selling and buying actual Bitcoins, at least not initially, but they're going to be doing some of the future contracts and some of the other stuff. So that's kind of interesting. And not only that, but a lot of Goldman Sachs executives are leaving Goldman Sachs and moving over to cryptocurrency hedge funds. There's like another it's interesting how old school finance sort of is like, no, crypto's a scam until it got to a certain point. Now they're flooding into the crypto space. And so if that's not a hint to folks that crypto is gaining legitimacy, then I don't know what is. I don't know how to convince people that at this point don't believe that digital money is the future, because we talked about this at Collision, Joel. I think I made the comment that about 1% of our currency, the fiat currency in America, is printed in actual dollar form. The other 99% is digits on a screen. It's already digital money. We're using our debit cards and credit cards. And how often are we walking around with fat stacks of cash in our pocket and paying for things? We're not. We're using these digital money already. And so cryptocurrency is obviously the evolution of that. And a lot of these big bankers like Goldman Sachs they're coming on over.
There's a photo here in the story, and you can go check out the show notes. It's two dudes from Goldman with one. Let's see, she is the vice president of principal strategic investments, and both the dudes, they got man buns. I mean, come on, when is that going to end? End the man bun. It's time to
I got a haircut lately not long ago, and the lady was like, "Oh, your hair on top is almost long enough for a man bun. Would you like me to?" I'm like, "No, cut that. That's why I'm literally sitting in this chair."
I wanted you to style me into a glorious man bun. I know a couple people that rock it, and by rock it, I mean get away with it. But I just, oh my gosh, can we please?
You should grow that. I think that would look so good with your silvery locks and just have a nice man bun there. I think you should maybe give it a try, Mr. Joel Comm. Don't knock it until you tried it.
Yeah, no, the only kind of bun I'm going to have is a Cinnabon. And I'm not going to stick that to the back of my head. I'm going to stick it in the front of my head where my mouth hole is. All right, are we done with Goldman Sachs?
Well, speaking of, would you say? Oh, you said mouth hole. I thought you said other kind of holes. The SEC commissioner on Bitcoin is saying that space is full of troubling developments. SEC Commissioner Robert Jackson, he's made some comments about that says that his personal view is that Bitcoin is full of all kinds of troubling developments. He said he has a lot of concerns around ICOs, and investors are having a hard time telling the difference between investments and fraud. Now, they say that, but I don't know that. I mean, we've had 100+ ICOs on our show, and none of them have been a scam, as far as I can tell.
There's no frauds. We've had one or two that didn't, see their ICO through because they just, they couldn't raise the money. Or, in one case, I discovered, Crypto Hunt, which I really liked. Was on the show several months ago. It was like the Pokemon, only you're finding cryptos, and we met with a guy who knew about their story. And turns out the founder, Sasha, that was on the show with us, got really ill, had to be hospitalized, and no business was going on. And so the developers, they cut and run. The project just poof. And so
They just went to a new project.
Yes.
They said, okay, well, this is stalling. We're moving another project.
So they're refunding actually, those that did. So, I wouldn't classify that as, a troubling development. It just sucks. But most businesses don't, succeed.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you look at the startup space, and you and I have both worked with Silicon Valley clients, and I've worked with a bunch of startups and had startups. 9 out of 10 startups fail, right? That's a common. If you are an investor, 9 out of 10 of them are going to fail over time. Well, these are really early stage companies that have a great idea, and it's almost like I look at ICOs and investing in these startup companies as sort of angel investing 2.0. Right? It's like I could put $100 on this one, I could put $100 on that one, and we can utilize those tokens. Some of them are securities, some of them are not securities. The SEC chairman, Jay Clayton, he seems to think every one of the ICOs that he's looked at is a security, but that's also because they're looking at this from if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And so they got to be very careful. And I've been considering writing an open letter to Congress to inform them about the particular state of the industry, because if they get too heavy-handed on this, and we were already seeing it, companies are being scared. They don't want to necessarily do an ICO or start up their business in America anymore. They're leaving. They're going to Switzerland. They're going to Singapore. They're going to Gibraltar. They're going to Malta. They're going to Cayman Islands. They're going to Bermuda. They're not doing their business in America. And guess what? Moving forward, more and more businesses are going to be built on the blockchain, and more of those businesses and more of that great talent is not going to be in America. And if they do this the wrong way, it's going to be catastrophic. The tech innovation will become a dustbin, and it'll be like, oh man, remember when America, actually had some great technology and innovation? Well, that's about to be disrupted by regulators.
Yeah. So Robert Jackson, whose friends I'm assuming call him Bob, says, I haven't seen one of these yet, referring to ICOs. That's not a security. Well, of course, there's a lot of people that would dispute that. And you're right. If they're not careful with this, the follow-up article here in a video from CNBC says that they are cautiously open to initial coin offerings. So, maybe they're trying to be optimistic about it. They're certainly going after the ones that are outright frauds. But he says right now we're focused on protecting investors who are getting hurt in this market, because, scams and pump and dumps never happen in the stock market. That never happens.
Yeah, right. I mean, and then you wonder how lots of congressmen and congresswomen over time, they go in and they make $168,000 a year, but by the time they leave Congress, they're worth like, $200 million. And I wonder how that happened, because there's some nefarious things going on in a lot of those, with some of them, not all. There's a lot of really great politicians, but there's some out there that are career politicians that have become super wealthy through insider trading and other stuff. They used to not be a problem for them. There was actually a big to do about that 2-3 years ago, where all these Congress people were making lots of cash money off of advanced knowledge. But these are, here's the thing. Our schooling system hasn't taught people to do your own research effectively. Here's our facts, learn them, recite them. They're going to be on the test and burp them back out for us, right? They don't teach people how to do critical thinking and think for themselves. So that's why we have to have this nanny state, apparently, to say, hey, we can't trust you with your own money and to invest in stuff or not. Do your own research. If you like it, you should be able to invest in it. I mean, as I've said before, I can go down to the gas station and blow $500 on lottery tickets if I want, but that's okay, because they're not going to protect me from that. But I can't spend $500 and invest in a token that I like and help invest in innovation, because I got to be protected from that, because I need a nanny.
I think Kanye West would support what you're saying.
I don't know.
He'd be all like, think for yourself.
Think for yourself. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
As Kanye West in his the ending of his new song, Lift Yourself, would say, poop de scoop, scoop diddy whoop, whoop de scoop de poop.
Wow, that's pretty deep. I mean, how deep is the poop?
I don't know. You'd have to go wade in it to find out. But, I think that there's a connection there somewhere. And it's one that we should pay attention to. Now, on the other side of the coin here, this I haven't seen this site before, but I'm starting to pick some stories up from them. This ToshiTimes.com. they dropped the SA, it's just ToshiTimes.com. The chairman of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, which is abbreviated CFTC, his name is Christopher Giancarlo, and he was on CNBC's Fast Money, and he says that we shouldn't expect to see crypto regulation resolved anytime soon. So maybe this is why the altcoins are starting to come back. People are like, hey, you know what? We can't wait around forever.
But there's some that are scared about it. I mean, it's a constant state of, all right, so are we violating rules? Are we not? There's not even the rules that are sort of set up yet. But then apparently when the SEC or CFTC or whatever throws the hammer down, then it's going to be retroactive. And so it's spooking a lot of companies, and they need to resolve something quick. Maybe they need to have the, Crypto Trading Commission, the CTC or something, and create a whole new organization that's set up to create this, because the SEC is going to look at it through the lens of stocks. The CFTC is going to look at it through the lens of commodities like oil and corn and everything like that. And the IRS looks at it as property, and all of them are looking at it in different lenses. Like IRS, it's property. The SEC says it's a security. CFTC says it's a commodity, and nobody really knows. And so maybe the cryptocurrency trading commission needs to be created.
He said that there's certainly an appetite among a number of congressmen and senators that I've spoken to approach this with some new eyes, some new thinking. And so I think there's a growing chorus on Capitol Hill for some rethinking here. So apparently the Bitcoin Capitol Hill choir is going to be maybe singing the praises of this new technology. I don't know. We have to wait and see.
I want to say this, be proactive, folks. So if you look in our show notes, I have actually added in the list of all of the Congress people who are on the finance committees and different things. So here's their contact information, how you can get a hold of them. Feel free to proactively reach out to them and let them know your thoughts about the scenario, right? Because if they hear from people who know about it, then they're willing to take that information into account. But if you saw that Facebook scenario, whenever they interviewed Zuckerberg, most of those Congress people don't even understand Facebook. How do you expect them to understand blockchain and cryptocurrency? They don't. And so I would say that is write your congressman and write other congressmen. Any of these Congress people who are on this committees around finance reform, and are in this space, message them all the same message if you want. That's what I'm doing. And, let them know what you think about it. All right. So in Australia, the ASX, which I assume is the Australian Stock Exchange, they say its new blockchain platform will be ready by the end of 2020. So they're taking their sweet time to roll out their blockchain platform 2020 or 21. And so that's going to replace their current CHESS system for clearing and settling transactions. So Australia, that's their clearinghouse electronic subregister system, and they are moving to the blockchain. So all of our great friends down under, there is a 87-page consultation paper that talks about that, and that's in the show notes. If you want to read all about what your stock exchange is doing, then read up on that, because that's interesting for y'all.
Yeah, read all 80 pages, get back to us, and give us a TLDR. So here's another story from around the world. UNICEF, which is the United Nations Children's Fund, is seeking to harness supporters' computers to raise donations via cryptocurrency mining. They've launched the Hope page, and this is a site that mines crypto with the help of your computer processing power. And so it's really mostly for Australia here, it appears to be. This allows Australians to provide help and hope to vulnerable children by simply opening the page while they are online. It's kind of like Get Paid to Surf, only you're making sure that UNICEF raises funds while you're surfing.
Yeah, so unlike how certain hackers were injecting the Monero mining onto certain web pages, it's kind of the same principle, except you opt in and say, yes, I would love to have this page open and mine for crypto to help the children. And so look at that, back-to-back stories pertaining to Australia. And you know what might be a good idea, Mr. Jocom, is what about this? What about if we were to get an Australian bad crypto correspondent, someone who loves the crypto and loves the news, and maybe have him on the show sometime.
Apply at badcryptopodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
If that's you. Never know. Could be you.
Could be you.
This one's, I like this one because we've been talking for some time about finding ways to explain blockchain and Bitcoin such that a children would get it. A child would get it.
How many children?
Just
one children.
A children going to get it. So that all the children would get it. So, so that grandma and grandpa could get it too, right? Because trying to explain this technology to somebody, this is as foreign to, your grandparents as it is to little children, for the most part. And somebody has written a kid's book to explain Bitcoin and blockchain. In this book, there's a character named Blocky. He is the main character in A Place in the Blockchain by Brett Berry, Biery. He's a software developer and blockchain enthusiast. And there's a page here, and it shows this little block. He's purple, and he's got eyes, and his mouth is wide open. And it says, Blocky awoke to a world blank and brand new. What could this small block offer? A tale of that adventure would soon ensue. I want this.
I just actually downloaded it on my Kindle while you were talking about it. So basically, this is a tale of that adventure. Find a spot to fit in, Blocky thought to himself. That should be easy to do. Searching high, low, left and right, the path for Blocky was not yet in view. And so this is a whole nice book. You can actually download it on Kindle immediately and read through it. I don't know how many pages it is. I'm clicking through right now. Very cool. Actually, I think I want to buy the printed copy of that. That sounds kind of a fun thing to have.
You know what I wish, Trav?
What was that?
I wish I were an Oscar Mayer wiener.
I was going to say that. I bet you wish you were a wiener.
Yeah. Well, not just a wiener, an Oscar Mayer wiener.
Oh, an Oscar Mayer wiener. There's a difference. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, because Oscar Mayer is now kind of, sort of, not really, but at least from a marketing perspective, getting into the cryptos.
Mm-hmm. And so the meat maker, they've launched their own digital coin called the Baycoin, Bacon plus coin, which is almost like bad coin. And we thought about Baycoin. We said, I think we've even made jokes about that. How long until it was a Baycoin? And maybe Oscar Mayer's marketing people were listening to us. And they've launched a website where bacon lovers can go and register for a chance to win a Baycoin. And if you do score one, then you'll be asked to share it on social media to increase the coin's value. And then a Baycoin is redeemable for bacon, not real money. So I assume they're going to send you a coupon or whatever?
It's redeemable for bacon, not real money. It's got a price tracker for how many slices one Baycoin is worth. For example, a single coin could net you 28 slices of bacon or a couple packs of greasy deliciousness. It's a volatile digital coin, so redeem it.
Right now, one Baycoin is worth 9 pieces of bacon. You can see that on the promo link there, how much it's actually worth. That's hilarious. Oh, man, but at 3 a.m., it was worth 11 slices.
I got to get me some Baycoin.
I'm registering right now because I love bacon.
You know what else I love? I love when financial and business leaders are bullish on crypto. And one of those is Peter Thiel. You know, Peter is a legendary Silicon Valley venture capitalist. He is all about those cryptos right now. His founders fund is looking to bring investors to the various cryptocurrencies, and they're raising the monies and pulling it together so that they can do that. Yeah, he's for those who don't know, Pete Thiel is the co-founder of PayPal. He's a very outspoken libertarian, and he believes that Bitcoin could become digital gold. And we're going to add Peter to our list of people that we want to get on the show to interview. So Peter Thiel, the Republic of Bad Cryptopia, everybody is sending out brain waves to you right now. In the middle of the night, you're going to wake up, you're going to sit up in bed, and you're going to think, I need to be on the Bad Crypto podcast. I don't know why.
It's because of all of our collective thought waves are sending your direction. So not only is Peter Thiel the one of the guys who started PayPal, but he was like the first big investor at Facebook, right? So this dude is super, super baller level. We would love to chat with him on the Bad Crypto podcast. So Mr. Thiel, if you are available, we're calling you on line 3 right now.
You know what else who would be fun to talk to? Once the bad crypto permeates the nation of North Korea is Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, that would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, why not? A little rocket man, what do you think of Bitcoin? And he would say it's going to the moon because he has a rocket.
He does. He does have a rocket. And so there was actually a so during their peace accord that they had,
Where they held hands.
They held hands and sang Kumbaya, but they actually coded, one of the game developers coded the Panmunjom Declaration, which says there will be no more war on the Korean Peninsula in both Korean and English, and stored both versions in 2 Ethereum transactions. So now on the blockchain is that permanently recorded peace accord, which is pretty cool.
And I think that's super cool. But the guy who did this, his last name is, or his first name, I'm sorry, is Ryu, RYU. They say that he's also planning to launch a website service that will keep all historic records permanent and immutable on a blockchain. So, it was said, here it is. It was said right here in this block on this date in this transaction.
That's pretty cool. Or maybe they say Joel Comm said this at this date and just put it on the. That's great.
But how would you know how would you verify that? Because that could be fake news.
Well, they could listen to you on the podcast, and they would know that was you because you're historic and you're permanent.
Yeah, but
and immutable.
But pretty soon, AI and robots and all that, we're going to be able to just the way that we can create digital images of actors, for movies, we're going to be able to recreate voices that the patterns will be virtually indistinguishable. And so we're going to have people set up for crimes, that they didn't actually commit, but you won't be able to say you didn't because, yep, you said that, you did that.
No, that's so true. That is a potential problem moving forward in the future. And I've seen those videos of Obama saying things he didn't actually say, or Trump saying things he didn't actually say. So they're getting the mouth movements down. They're taking video footage and making it look so very, very real.
Now, wait a second. Are you telling me he didn't say if you like your doctor, you keep your doctor?
No, they have videos out there of them saying there's videos of them, using doctored footage. It's things they did not say that sounds like them and looks like them, just like what you were referencing. That's going to become more prevalent in the future. But one thing I was thinking about, and actually had some conversations at Collision about this, is that starting in 2009, I started creating this mastermind group image of all my favorite people. If you go to my LinkedIn, you can see it. Just type in Travis Wright. I think I pop up at the top. And it's my mastermind group. They're all my favorite people throughout the history of time. And I talked to a couple of people there that could maybe make this happen in the future. Is like, so what I'd like to have is like maybe John Lennon. Eventually, we're going to have these AR and VR glasses, right? I want to be able to put on my AR glasses, augmented reality, and have a virtual John Lennon avatar pop up. And imagine, you could literally throw all of the things he said, all the interviews he did, all the lyrics he wrote, all the video footage of him, all the audio footage, all the written footage of him, and then they could modulate his voice to make it sound like him. They could make a real John Lennon that could walk around with you, and you could ask him questions and talk to them like a real life chatbot, and then have him play a song if you wanted. I mean, then you could have a whole room full of these folks, and I think that's going to be something that happens sooner than later. I bet that could happen within 5 years, where we have these sort of AI-powered avatars of historical figures where it's sort of like a Wikipedia for all amazing minds from throughout time. Yeah. How awesome would that be?
It would be super awesome, but what I think is really the awesomest is you said it's like John Lennon. Imagine, and you just kept going. I mean, just imagine.
I did. It was good.
Imagine.
Right. I did that on purpose.
Well, imagine this. Whether or not this is true is up for dispute. The truth being that this is the first city in the world to do it, but this article in Toshi Times again says that Dubai will be the first city in the world powered by blockchain. So they are getting super aggressive with their government departments and to build up relationships with companies to make blockchain a part of their infrastructure.
Yeah, and they have a ton of great conferences around blockchain there. I mean, it's really one of the top spots around the world for blockchain development. And their Department of Economic Development they have unveiled a blockchain commitment along with the Dubai Silicon Oasis Authority, and they're calling it the Dubai Blockchain Business Registry. And they're also a partner of Dubai IBM, and they are going to be collaborating with the private sector and government partners to create this efficient, seamless, safe, and impactful city experience for residents and visitors. So having all 100% of all of their government transactions run on the blockchain, that's going to be one of the first things they want to do. And wow, that's awesome.
And they're going to be taking Joel coin.
They are.
That's what they're building it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So fancy.
It wasn't too long ago that I ventured to San Francisco to speak to a group at Renault, the French car manufacturer, because they've got some cool blockchain-y stuff that's happening over there. And this story out of TechCrunch says Renault, along with BMW, GM, and Ford, have co-opted to launch a blockchain research group for the automotive industry.
Yep, and it's called the Mobility Open Blockchain Initiative, and they have over 30 Mobi. Yeah, they have over 30 members so far. Bosch, Blockchain at Berkeley, Hyperledger, IBM, IOTA, and they want to make this more safe. They want to make it more affordable, and they want to allow blockchain to become more accessible. And we're going to start seeing more of these consortiums, as I like to call them, of companies working together within an industry to find ways to move their industry forward together, because we're moving into this collaborative space, right? It's like you don't always have to crush your competition. You can work together on some initiatives, and things like this are really what kind of move humanity forward. They're going to work together and figure out how it all works and find a great solution to move this all forward. I love it.
Did you just mention IOTA, Travis?
I did. Yeah, some people get mad at me for not mentioning IOTA. I normally only grump about them because their wallet was the worst wallet ever.
Well, to be fair, the guy in the mastermind said it was your fault. You lost your seed or something.
No, I have my seed. The seed, the acquiring of the seed is a really wonky process, or at least it was a few months ago. And I have my seed. My seed is correct. And it's just something super silly. I don't know.
Well, people want us to talk about, their pet coins, and it's not like we've avoided any. It's not a conspiracy. Roger Ver is not paying us to not talk about other coins. We just talk about what comes up in the news, what's interesting to us, what we're following. There's so many coins. However, Travis and I have been talking about doing something that would focus on individual coins more and more. We're actually talking about doing a little spin-off segment / show on video, and just going to tease with that right now, but no more info on it at this moment.
No more info on it.
All right, a few more stories. Let's do it. Bitcoin Cash. Speaking of Roger Ver, a hard fork is happening on May 15th. Is this the first? This is the first hard fork, right? It's a major network upgrade that's going to have some big changes to its underlying protocol. And I'm assuming, what are they calling it? Bitcoin ABC. What is that? Oh, that's their development team. What's the hard fork going to be called, though?
I'm actually looking for that. I don't see, but I know that they're moving the block size up to 32 megabytes. And so that's pretty large. They are increasing the parameters within the blocks from 40 bytes to 220 bytes. So you can actually add more data to the blockchain, and they're going to have some time stamping of data. I don't know. Bitcoin Unlimited. Is that it? Is the full node implementation for Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash networks. It is reported that BU will have a vital role in the upcoming hard fork. No, that's not it. What does it mean? I don't even know what they're calling it. They don't say what they're calling it in this article anyway. Bitcoin Unlimited. Don't know.
I think they should call it Bitcoin Cash Bad Fork Diamond Private Coin Doge.
You're really good at branding. I can tell why you've been in marketing for so long. I'm really impressed with the things you come up with.
Also good in reading. Now, this guy, these folks here are incredibly bearish on cryptos. The story on CNBC, an investment bank, GP Bullhound, says that there will be a 90% correction in cryptocurrencies with a mass market wipeout.
Oh, Wilbur.
There'll be all kinds of
Yeah, so they're calling this the crypto winter, and they think there's going to be a heavy correction of 90%, leading to this mass market wipeout. That's what this technology investment bank predicted, and they wrote this report called "Token Frenzy: The Fuel of Blockchain." It has laid out basically the current state of crypto and blockchain and ICOs and what they think the future will look like. And one of their predictions said that there's going to be a 90% correction within the next 12 months, with very few companies surviving. And maybe some of them are talking about some of the potential regulations that are going to start coming down. There has been some discussions about what happens if Ethereum is viewed as a security, right? What would that do to the market? That's something that's in discussions right now. Some of them are thinking that Ethereum maybe is a security. If that's the case, that could be crazy. What the ramifications of that could do throughout the whole crypto space. So I don't know. This is FUD. It sounds like FUD to me. If it does happen, well, this is at least we like to look at both sides of the token, right?
Yeah, we always tell people that, if you're in cryptos, it is cutting edge stuff. It is high risk, and you could lose everything, which is why we're not financial advisors, and we never recommend that anybody does anything but their own research, makes their own adult decisions about their investments, that you stay legal, that you stay legit, and you try to hold on to as much of your monies as possible and increasify them when you can. But other than that, be careful out there, kids.
Be careful. It could all go to zero. It could all go to the moon. You just don't know.
It could go sub-zero. Is that possible?
I don't know. It could be if you were leveraging futures and whatnot, and you over leveraged yourself potentially.
Well, we're about to announce our World Crypticon weekly winner, but before we do, one last story here. Amazon is expanding into both private and public blockchain services, and this article on the Motley Fool says that this could hurt IBM. It's not going to hurt my feelings, but it might hurt IBM's feelings.
It might hurt IBM. And speaking of IBM, in one of our upcoming episodes, we interviewed one of the heads of the IBM blockchain project, right?
Yeah. Arsha Lal is actually going to be our guest. We have actually already interviewed her at Collision, and she will be speaking on the next episode talking about IBM's blockchain initiatives. And we got a good bit of information from her about Stellar XLM, Stellar Lumens, which, Travis and I both enjoy, and of which we gave away many lumens. Well, Stellar gave away many lumens to many early listeners of the Bad Crypto podcast. And if we can get our hands on it, we're going to include the 15-minute presentation that Travis and I did together on stage at Collision, where we entertained and equipped the audience. And we talked fast because we had to squeeze a lot into 15 minutes.
Well, it was the growth of cryptocurrencies over the past, few years, what's happened through the growth of crypto and the growth of blockchain. And, once we get the video footage of it, one of our friends, Adrian Ashley, she actually streamed it on Facebook. And so we do have the audio. That's not the audio right out of the thing. So if we can get the copy of that, we'll shoot it up. And then actually probably be better to tune into the mastermind groups. You can actually watch that full video. I think it's better on video than it is in audio, but it is what it is.
badco.in/mastermind, and World Crypticon coming up October 31st through November 2nd in Las Vegas at the Aria Hotel. And we're giving away, World Crypticon is giving away 2 tickets each and every week. And in order to qualify for a ticket, all you got to do is subscribe to the Bad Crypto newsletter, which goes out once each week. Go to badco.in/WCC, and we randomly draw a name out of that to get 2 tickets. And at the end, I think around October 1st, we will be pulling a name to win 2 tickets, all expense paid.
2 tickets to paradise. Never mind. To Las Vegas, actually.
Yeah, not really paradise, but which includes your airfare and your hotel at the Aria. So this week's winner is, drum roll please, keyboard roll, Maria Rockwell. Maria, take a letter. Maria, you won 2 tickets, and we will email you. Well, World Crypticon will. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Are you related to Naomi Rockwell? There might be a Naomi Rockwell out there. Not Brockwell. There might be a Rockwell out there.
Or the musician that Michael Jackson supported, Rockwell.
Mm.
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
That was a Rockwell song?
And I got no Bitcoin left.
Can't get no
Whoa.
privacy. Now, or it might be the Rockwell from the Flintstones, because I think it was like one of the managers or something was Mr. Rockwell. They always had those fun names.
Those Flintstone-y prehistoric names. Well, thanks for listening to the Bad Crypto Podcast. We do appreciate you. Don't forget to go to the CryptoInfluenceAward.com and vote for your favorite podcast in the best podcast category. It might be us, it might not, but go vote anyway, because, but just, vote once, because that's how everybody, in real elections votes. Nobody would vote more than once.
Actually, you can vote as many times as you like on as many browsers as you like. So maybe create a bot and, just vote and vote and vote and vote for Laura Shin or Bad Crypto, whichever one you like,
At all. Whichever one helps you most to stay there.
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor.